All right, y'all, Mark Speaks. Y'all know how I do, cooking the books and giving it a whole new meaning. Now, speaking of books, I talked about judging a book by its cover in my last video. I want to kind of continue on that some more because I feel that, that's something that I need to really get off my chest. And the reason why I was talking to somebody and they was like, oh, you're judging a book by the cover, blah, 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 blah. Here's the reality, folks. I told you, that's the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, right? One of the greatest tricks. And the way he pulled that, the person he used to coin that phrase, don't judge a book by the cover, if you ask me, I think that person was hoodwinking, right? They were hoodwinking, they were bamboozling, boondoozling, and got caught. I think they were bamboozling. They were in the midst of bamboozling somebody. They were trying to hoodwink, right? They were trying to hoodwink someone, got caught, and then they got the inspiration from the devil. The devil inspired their minds, and they were like, don't judge a book by its cover. And 1,000 years later, eureka, here we are, still quoting that BS. Folks, I coined the term evolutionary enterprise. I don't know if I coined it, but I never heard it before, so I take credit for that. Evolutionary enterprise. I like that. It has a nice ring to it. Evolutionary enterprise is what we're all on. And along the evolutionary enterprise, there's all kind of tricks and trades, pimps, scallywags, landmines, potholes, all kind of detractors, tractors, everything out there to get you, right? So let me give you some defense mechanisms, offensive, defensive mechanisms, okay? That statement gets a lot of people tied up. It's a good, like I said, it's a trickster. It's a trickster statement. It's a very cunning statement coined by somebody who was in the middle of trickery. Some kind of chicanery, some skullduggery, some boondoogling or some bamboozling was going on. I'm telling you. There was some hoodwinking, some bamboozling, boondoogling, skullduggery, chicanery, underhanded, under table, backhanded, backdoor dealing scam going on. They got caught and they immediately inspired by the devil to come up with that BS. Don't judge this book by the cover. Folks, here's what I'm going to tell you. Sometimes in life, all you get is the cover. Don't judge the book by the cover is a metaphor. It is allegorical. It represents other things, and it's representing you and I. People's personalities. People sometimes will display to you a dark side of their personality. They'll maybe something they do will betray that part of their personality, and you'll see it. You'll get a glimpse of it. And then when you get a glimpse on it, if you call them out on it, they'll hide behind this is psyche. This is how the psyche works. They'll hide behind that defense. Don't judge me like that. Why are you judging a book by the cover, right? That's how it works. I'm putting you up on stuff here. The reality is this, though, folks. Sometimes in life, all you get is the cover. What I mean by that is, look, I mentioned this in my previous video. I'm a slow reader. I read well, but I read slow. And I don't have time to walk around and follow you crazy behind around and try to figure you out. I'm not going to spend my whole day assessing, scrutinizing, evaluating, doing analysis, analytics, trying to figure you out. That's too much resources. That's too much energetic resources that I have to use to figure you out. So if I meet you and I got a few seconds to get some insights, or I watch, I study, I meditate, I look at your actions, and I see you betray some things, I'm going to judge the book by the cover. I'm going to make my judgments right then and there on the spot. Because it's survival. It's a survival technique. It's about survivability, viability and survivability. Okay? Being able to think quick on your feet. And folks, it's not about right or wrong. All right? It's not about right or wrong. Even if you're wrong, stand in your wrongness. Right? I'd rather stand in my wrongness than walk around in blindness. So I'd rather make judgments and be wrong than walk around in blindness and gullibility and vulnerability and susceptibility. Because if you're not making judgments and calling shots quick on your feet, quick-witted, if you don't have your wits about and your presence of mind and, being able to calculate, rationalize, make logical, consistent conclusions right away, then you're going to be susceptible. You're going to be susceptible, vulnerable, gullible, naivete, and so on and so forth. So my thing is, folks, judge the book by the cover. Because, again, I strongly believe that sometimes in life, all you get is that cover. If you are out here in these streets and you got to make a life or death decision, you got to make quick decisions. You got to judge the book by the cover. sometimes judge the book by the cover could also apply to you judge the situation, you judge the environment, you read the room, right? You read the energy in the room, read the vibrations, read the person, read what they're not saying. I have talents, right? We all have our own unique talents. I can't sing, I can't dance. I got like, yo, I'm tall, I'm 6'3", but I'm not a good basketball. I'm not athletic like that. I'm not a good basketball player, right? I knew immediately, I wouldn't say immediately, but over the years I've learned what nature, you know, in terms of my limitations, my biological limitations. I knew what nature did not design for me to do. You understand? I knew nature did not give me the windpipes to blow and sing beautiful songs. I could write beautiful stuff, but I didn't have the talent to sing, right? I know my limitations. I know what I'm talented at. I know what I'm not talented at. And one thing I could tell, I've learned how to read vibrations, read what's not being said. That's a talent. You have to sometimes know how to read what is not being said. They talk about read between the lines. That's great. I'm all for that. Read between the lines, but also read what they're not saying. Sometimes it's not what they're saying, and it's not what is between the lines. It's what they're omitting. The omittance of information is the information. You dig? Learn that technique and learn it well. Learn how to read what they're not saying. Learn how to read what they are omitting, and you'll be able to judge that book by the cover. So, folks, I'm here to tell you something this is called a contrarian sentiment. This is a contrarian sentiment. You are now officially a contrarian to the sentiment if you co-sign and subscribe to what I'm telling you. You will be a contrarian, sentimental contrarian. Totally contrarian. You're going against the grain. My contrarian sentiment to you is judge the book by the cover instantaneously. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. Judge, and when you judge well, you judge strong, you just judge. Till the next time, I'm going to be cooking these books, giving a whole new meaning. And while I'm cooking these books, I'm going to be judging them by their covers.